Hello, my name's Rachel Okello. I'm a UK-based solicitor specialising in immigration, nationality and deportation law. And I just come to you via YouTube and share some top tips and some ideas on immigration in the United Kingdom. So subscribe to our channel if you wish to stay up to date with our top tips that we share, and follow us on social media at Clarity Visas. And you can book a free case assessment with me to discuss your immigration case in private at www.clarityvisas.co.uk. So today I'm going to talk about overstaying and the coronavirus, because I know there are a lot of people who are in the United Kingdom very worried, as we all are, about the effects of the coronavirus on the global population, but also particularly from the point of view that I talk about is if you're in the United Kingdom as a migrant. And today, in this video, I'm going to talk about if you're in the United Kingdom as a migrant and you haven't got your papers in order. So you've overstayed, basically, or you're at risk of overstaying, particularly due to the coronavirus issue. So firstly, the Home Office, because of the issues around the coronavirus, have put in place a special team that is there specifically to help people to solve any issues of being stuck in the United Kingdom due to the coronavirus, where their visa is likely to expire and they're going to be prevented from leaving the United Kingdom before their visa expires. So, for example, if you are self-isolating, if you are from a country where you need to transit through a country that the borders are closed, or if your country of origin is not open and you physically can't get into your country, or you can't get into a country where they're to transit through one country to get to your country, if those borders are closed, if the airline flights have been cancelled, then you'll be stuck in the United Kingdom and you physically can't leave, and your visa may expire during this whole chaotic time. The Home Office then have a special team, and we've given details of that on our website, www.clarityvisas.co.uk, and there's an email there where you can email the Home Office and explain to them your situation. And at the moment, they've got a special provision up until the 31st of May 2020. So they're extending visas to the 31st of May 2020, and they say this is going to be under constant review. So they're extending for people who physically cannot leave the United Kingdom due to the coronavirus outbreak, and they will therefore be in the United Kingdom after the date that their visa has expired. So you can make use of that. Go to our website, www.clarityvisas.co.uk, and find out more about that. Now, there's also many people who've been in the United Kingdom for many years illegally without papers, and I want to talk a bit about that today as well, because rightly or wrongly, it's a very difficult and stressful time. And even if you've been here without papers, a lot of people have lived in the United Kingdom for some time, and they've either been making repeat applications which have been unsuccessful, or they've stayed here due to circumstances beyond their control, whether those circumstances are real or perceived. But basically, you haven't got papers and you're still in the UK. So I want to talk a bit today about your options. And your options are going to be, as they've always been. You can regularise your immigration status at any time. You can make the choice to either regularise your immigration status, or you can make the choice to leave the United Kingdom and return to your country of origin, or to a country that you have residence of and you're able to enter and live in. If you're going to stay in the United Kingdom, then, as I say, at any time you can apply to regularise your immigration status. And particularly if you are somebody who comes under the immigration rules, then I highly recommend and suggest that you make that application to stay here lawfully, because with the hostile environment that we're living in, it's created specifically to make it as difficult as possible for people to live here if they don't have papers. So they're making it as difficult as possible. And particularly in these times of this coronavirus outbreak, the fear that people will be feeling if they don't have papers. I can imagine, because we're all very fearful ourselves of what's happening. So you can put an application into the Home Office and apply to stay here, even if you thought, well, I would have wanted to leave, but I cannot now leave because of the coronavirus issue. You may consider putting an application into the Home Office on that basis, along with rules that you are able to use to apply to regularise your status. So what are those rules? I want to talk about the 7-year rule, I want to talk about the half of life year rule, and the 20-year rule. So the 7-year rule, in the past it was just called the 7-year rule, and if you had a child who was under the age of 18, then you could apply to regularise the status of that child and every other family member of that child, close family, so siblings, mother, father of that child. If you were living together in the United Kingdom as a family unit, and the child under the age of 18 had been living in the UK for at least 7 years continuously, then the Home Office would regularise the status of that child, and it follows that they'd regularise the status of all other family members as well. So that rule is still in place in principle, but the Home Office now have made it a bit harsher, where you need to show that it's not unreasonable to expect the child to leave the United Kingdom. So it's a 2-stage test. The first stage is that the child has to have lived here for 7 years continuously. And the second stage is that it's not reasonable to expect the child to leave the United Kingdom and return to their parents' country. And there are a variety of reasons why it may not be reasonable, and every case is different. So as I say, on all my videos, you can contact us for a free case assessment, and we can go through whether those reasons are viable reasons which would likely succeed in an immigration application. If the child is British, again, you can apply to stay with your British citizen child. The second thing I want to look at is for people who are 24 years and under, who have been in the UK for at least half their life. So if you can prove that you are 24 and under, and that you've lived in the UK for half your life, then it's more or less automatic. The Home Office will grant you leave to remain, and you can regularise your immigration status. And the third rule is if you've been in the UK for at least 20 years continuously, which is quite a long time, 20 years continuously, and you can prove that to the Home Office, even if you haven't had 20 years of lawful residence. So some of your residence has been legal, some of it's not been legal, you've overstayed. You can still, at that 20-year mark, apply to regularise your immigration status. And once the Home Office are convinced that you have actually been here for 20 years, they will grant you leave to remain. And the same with the half of life route. Even if it hasn't all been lawful residence, well, mostly the whole point really is that the residence has not been lawful. They're helping you to regularise your status, giving you kind of an amnesty, if you like. So half of life and the 20-year rule, and in fact even the 7-year rule for the children, is for people who basically have not had continuous lawful residence in the UK. It's an opportunity to be able to regularise your status. And if your status is regularised under those routes, then you'll be able to study, live in the UK, go abroad for short visits, work, do business, do everything basically, not claim benefits unless you're giving particular permission to claim benefits, but you can do everything in the UK. So I hope that was helpful. If you've been here for less than 20 years, then you're going to have to show that you have exceptional reasons why you can't leave the United Kingdom. So you can still apply, but only if you've got exceptional reasons why you can't leave the United Kingdom. And there may be family life reasons relating back to the children again, or they could be medical reasons or any other reason which the Home Office is convinced is exceptional. Then you can apply on that basis and challenge the Home Office at court if they don't agree. And we do those sorts of cases. We do human rights cases, and you can book your free case assessment at clarityvisas.co.uk. Subscribe to the channel, follow us on social media. I hope that was helpful. Stay safe, stay at home, check with the Home Office if you actually have to report as well.